microspherules and all of this in being able to demonstrate that these great catastrophes have happened. I kind of use the analogy of fingerprints, which I borrowed from Graham, but fingerprints, on a crime scene, you don't really see those without technological enhancement. Footprints, on the other hand, you can see them. They're obvious. They're, footprints in the ground. So I kind of look at the Channel Scablands. Those are obvious footprints on the global landscape that are unambiguous, right? Then on the other hand, the microspherules, the nanodiamonds, and the things like that, those are the things that you can't see without the technological enhancement, without scanning electron microscopy or energy dispersive.
Can I just butt in there to elaborate on the nanodiamonds? This is one of the reasons we know that there was a series of airbursts and bits of a comet that hit the Earth 12,800 years ago, because all around the world there is a layer in the soil. You can go down to Murray Springs in Arizona. There's a draw that was cut by floods there, and along the side of the draw you can see a line in the earth about the width of a human hand, and that is the Younger Dryas boundary. And it's full of what are called impact proxies, things that could only be created by the massive heat and shock of an impact of an object from space. And those include nanodiamonds, these tiny diamonds which we would not see without high-level tech allowing us to see down into the minuscule world. That's it. That's
Murray Springs.
That's the Younger Dryas boundary layer at Murray Springs.
Which one's the layer?
The dark layer. There's better shots of it, but it's that dark layer. It runs all along the side of the springs, and for the series we went there with Alan West from the Comet Research Group, and he explained to us exactly what's going on here. And that's the first clues that led them to believe that we're dealing with a comet impact 12,800 years ago. And I don't want to misuse that word. It's not a single object. It's multiple objects. It's a swarm of objects. Those objects hit all around the world. They hit in North America, but they also hit in Syria. Interestingly, there's a site called Abu Huraira, which is very near to Göbekli Tepe in Syria, which was hit by what they believe was an airburst of a fragment of a comet. If we go back to 1908, June 1908, many people will know that an event took place in Siberia. It's called the Tunguska event. Interestingly enough, that date, June 1908, is one of the two periods in the year, June and November, when the Earth passes through the Taurid meteor stream. And what happened there was that an object that's estimated to have been about 100 meters in diameter blew up in the air over Siberia. It flattened 2,000 square miles of trees. It was an uninhabited area. Nobody was killed. But if that had happened over a major city, it would have been cataclysmic. And that was just a small bit. And it left the same traces in the soil, the same nanodiamonds, the same evidence of... Another really intriguing thing is melted quartz. It takes temperatures of 2,000 plus degrees centigrade to melt quartz. And you find melted quartz all over this Younger Dryas boundary layer. You find iridium, another object, another substance that can only come in with asteroids and comets from outer space. So the evidence is mounting, the evidence is building, and the team of scientists at the Comet Research Group, as I mentioned earlier, they've just now got some major funding. We are going, and if again, I talked about that happy billionaire who I would like to see put some money into LiDAR surveys in the Amazon. I'd like to see them put some money into the Comet Research Group as well, because they've funded themselves all the way along now, but now they've got some major funding. We're going to see some huge breakthroughs in that field. And it doesn't matter how much other scientists dislike what they're doing, they are giving us the data. The data ultimately is what matters, not people's opinion. And the data speaks to a gigantic worldwide apocalypse 12,800 years ago.
Jamie, can I have the sacred cable back?
I have to pee. So let's pause, and we'll come back and get back to this.
Sounds good.
We're right back. Okay, we're back.
Are we back?
Yeah. Here we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. All right, so this is just sort of a graphic I put together to show the Taurid meteor stream, and this is based, there's two ellipses here, which goes back to the work of Fred Whipple way back in the 1940s, who was the first one to realize that the Taurid meteor stream was the byproduct of this ongoing fragmentation of an original giant comet. Because what he was able to do when he did this succession of photographs is he was able to run the orbits in reverse. And once he did that, he could see that these separate pieces within the stream all converged on the same point in space, which told him that they were once one object. So, but anyways, what we've got here is, you'll notice here's Mercury, or orbit of Mercury. I should get my glasses here. Orbit of Venus, and then this third ring here is the orbit of the Earth. The green arrows show the direction of the orbit, so here's the orbit of the Earth. And here is the green arrows again show the direction of orbit of the stream. And you can see that the Earth's orbit crosses the stream late June, early July, right here. And then again, it crosses the stream around now, November, late October, early November. And this has led the Taurid stream to sometimes be referred to as the Halloween meteors because they peak right around Halloween. Okay, so what was the date of Tunguska?
June 30th,
June
1908.
Yes. So the timing was perfect. The other thing was that the position where the meteor emanated from space was perfect because you can see that as the stream comes around the sun, if you're here on the Earth and you're looking up the stream, and here was the problem, why the object wasn't seen until the last few moments is because you had to almost look directly into the sun. And this is why some of the eyewitnesses described that it looked like the object was born out of the sun, or that the sun split in two and this fiery object came and exploded. You know, it didn't, here's an important point, it did not hit the ground.
It was an airburst.
It was an airburst. And a lot of what we might be talking about with the Younger Dryas would be airbursts. I just did a whole presentation on October 30th talking about the universal observance of the Festival of the Dead.